Ladies and gentlemen, I can't help myself. I have to check Instagram before the episode can begin, but nonetheless, this 25 likes. Huh. Interesting. Hmm. I can't say I expected that, but always nice to see. Let's go to my page. 17 likes. Well said. Thanks, Griffin. All right, here we are, episode 58 of Keeping It Real. Let's start off with the bang and do what we should do, and that is write down our goals for today. I'm going to, of course, reference I don't know how to put this into words, my long-term. I'm going to, of course, reference my other sheet, which is filled with long-term aspirations while I write my goals for today. We're going to read through the whole thing. Looking ahead, I'd like to avoid using social media. Okay. Yeah, well, there's no excuse for it. Okay, yeah, that's bad. I'd like to attempt a handwritten daily outline. I'd like to try to work at Jersey Mike's. I'd like to try to drink 3 liters of water daily. I'd like to try to shower twice a day. I'd like to try to brush teeth 3 times a day. I'd like to be awake at 8 and asleep by 12. I'd like to avoid eating, drinking, and screens from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. I'd like to try to eat healthy. I like to try to go to the gym. I like to try to read, try to be in public, try to walk/run a mile, try to be financially conscious. Okay, so today is unique, right? Because all of a sudden we're at a head start. My daily routine as of late is waking up at 2:30 p.m. with just enough time to make it to my 3 p.m. shift start time. And then once I'm at my job, I kind of coast through, and then 10 p.m. comes and I come home and I struggle through making all this internet stuff. And then once I finish making the internet stuff, I get a ton of fast food, eat the fast food, crash out on my air mattress, and then wake up the next day. So today we've been given sort of a head start, right? Because for whatever reason, I'm up and it is 12:39 p.m., which reminds me, start time for this episode is 12. So that means the end time for this episode will be 30. 1:37. So what is the plan for today? Well, before I even started the camera and before I grabbed my whiteboard, I sort of had a vision, right? Because I knew that I'd be grabbing this, and I knew that I'd be planning out my day. And my vision was just to write 2 things down. Finish my video stuff before work, and go to work. Those would be my only 2 goals for today, right? I don't want to overwhelm myself. I don't want to put too much on my plate. And I genuinely think if I can get my video stuff done before work, I will be winning today. I will be taking a step forward. And tomorrow I will be on solid ground to try and improve even more. So that's what we'll write. We'll write 1. Finish all social media before work. 2, go to work. Okay. So this is my to-do list for the day. It's the first time I've utilized this laminated piece of paper. Very, very exciting. Very pleased to have done it. Very happy. And now we just have the rest of the episode to do whatever it is we want. I'm going to go and open up my diary that if you watch yesterday's episode, you're very familiar with what I'm about to read from. If not, to briefly sum it up, I'm going to read an entry that I wrote in the Google Doc a year ago on this day. I think it might be interesting, and it kills time. So, in February 23rd of 2024, I titled this entry, Charlotte and Family. It has 2 notes below it, one written on the 25th and one written on April 1st. Okay, so let's get into it. I wrote, Good morning. Today, I am writing for people... Sorry, hold on. Let's try again. I hope my voice is loud enough. Okay. Good morning. Today, I am waiting for people to arrive to study within the STEM Center at Northern Wake Tech campus. I am in Building D, Floor 3, Room 360. I already have my Apple Watch circle almost halfway done. It is currently 10:46 a.m. Now, I will begin the preparation for Module 2 test for MAT 171 Pre-Calculus. Beast Mode. After, I will hop in the car and head home for the weekend. Pretty cool. Pretty awesome. I was in school. I'm not in school now, so it's cool to read that. All right. February 25th. Note. I did not make it to Charlotte. I made the right call when I guess when I said I'll hop in the car and head home for the weekend, I meant Charlotte. I just thought I meant, home. Okay. February 25th. Note. I did not make it to Charlotte. I made the right call when I stopped for food 1/4 of the way through the trip. My back was hurting, and more than my back, my feelings. I love my family dearly, and I care very much about the quality of my relationship with them. I will be going to meet them on the morning of the 9th. I will do the morning because the trip takes a toll on my body and in turn becomes a mental block in my mind. I will pack the night before and leave when I wake up to get the hard thing out of the way first in the day. I find life is best this way. Well, if there's any truth to that, I am currently doing my video stuff before work, so. I wonder where I will be by the 9th, who I will have met, what I will have done. I am sure all great things and people. Huh. Interesting. Okay, then on April 1st, I make another note to this entry. I write, I remember this being a very hard day. At the food, random Chick-fil-A, that I stopped a quarter of the way home because... I stopped at a quarter of the way home, I became quite paralyzed. I did not do much. I did not think many thoughts. I really did not want to move. Also, my back hurt. Well, not that bad. More my mind. My mind hurt a lot. So I just stopped using it for about 3 hours. I went completely numb. Fair to say I have come quite a long way since then. Even though some pretty crappy stuff went down today, at least it went down. I would much rather push the envelope on my life than watch it fly by. It is too precious for me to do so. I am alive, and that is wonderful. As I finished writing in today's entry, April 1st, my chicken is done in the air fryer. Peace. Okay, so this is going to get interesting as I continue to read this diary because we're going to see a lot of things, read a lot of things that are going to make me very uncomfortable. And that's okay. I'm not worried about it. But I am just sort of like remembering it. It's coming back up. Like, wow, this happened. Maybe I have to go to the bathroom. Do you think I could pause this episode very briefly? Would that be acceptable? I don't want to like break any sort of rules here. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to go to the bathroom, so. So if I go to the bathroom now, it's 37, 3, 9. I just gotta add whatever time it takes me to be in the bathroom to. Okay, okay. Okay. Be right back. Dang, dude. That was I mean, that was like okay, plus 6 minutes. So that means that my start time is now 1:43. Or my stop time. Counting for the break. Oh, that was like I don't know, man, not ideal, you know? Like when you go to the bathroom, you don't want it to be like that. TMI. So, what is there to talk about? What is there to do? I mean, we can reread the entry again and see if we get anything from it. I can talk about my day a year ago. Yeah. Eh. I don't know necessarily how I feel about doing that. I can say this morning when I woke up like 6 different times. One of the times that I woke up, well, this is a theme actually. So if you're not aware, there's no door on my bedroom. And because of that, I can see Sam right now in the kitchen doing whatever it is he's doing, right? And that is by choice. It's not like a parent said, you lost your door privileges. Although maybe I'm my own parent, right? But I didn't take my door away, so to speak. I gave myself no door. I think when you don't have a door in your room, things like change, right? When you sleep on an air mattress, things change. When you decide your bedroom is your studio, things change. When you push school off for just one more semester, things change. When you get a job at Jersey Mike's and take it seriously as if you could be working there for the rest of your life, things change. When you make a YouTube video every single day, things change. And I'm always trying to find those things that can change my life, you know? Like it's never you never know, what kind of change that decision can bring, but it's kind of like you're sort of like a stupid monkey stumbling around in this life, and like you have to sort of make your best guess as to what decisions might bring the best outcomes. And things like, oh, if I get drunk every day, that's a bad change. If I it's like that side, like so then you try to do things that like maybe, yeah, I don't know. I just when I got rid of my door, I was kind of like, well, it won't be in my way. It'll make the room feel bigger. And both those things are true. This is a small room, and I need it to feel bigger because I love this room. And I will sort of be, I don't know, a little bit more in tune with my roommates. I think that they kind of, I don't think they like it. And sometimes I think that like, because right outside my room is the kitchen, right? And that is like a point of noise and a point of common use, I guess. So it is significant that I no longer have a door because my bed, which is an inflatable air mattress, is placed right in front of the doorway. So it's sort of like whenever you're coming in, the front door to the house is also right in front of my door. So whenever you're coming or going, you pass by me and I'm asleep. Or whenever you're in the kitchen, I'm asleep. And let me just be honest with you. About 40 minutes ago, I was in my air mattress. I fell asleep at like probably 4 or 5 a.m. last night. And I woke up around 10 because Sam was going through my closet looking for some shirt. And I didn't mind that. I don't think he meant to wake me up. But then in the kitchen at like 12:15, my other roommate is just being really, really loud. And it was really, and this is like, this happens usually every morning, I actually have to say. And it's really just like pissing me off. Like, I just want to be asleep, but he's being so loud. And I don't know. It's like I'm forever in the wrong because I don't have a door. But also, this happened, so I want to talk about it. And I was just like, dude, like, it's really annoying. But I have to, if it weren't for him, I probably wouldn't have finally woken up. Like, if there was no one living here and it was just me, or if they were all gone, right? I would have probably stayed in bed till 2:30. Well, I don't know that. So I can't say I got up for which reason or another reason. Obviously, if you're following along, it's fantastic that I did get up, right? Because now we have like this opportunity in front of us to get things done, make a to-do list, and have a pretty good day. But it's never like, see ya. It's never like, you never actually know what is a good thing, what is a bad thing, until I guess you review it. And it takes a while to review something like this, I guess. And I wonder what exactly I'm doing in terms of like my life. Like, what is me not having a door? Is that, I don't know. Is that like substantial? Is that significant? There's no way to know. But I've kept the door off, and that's that. So, okay, what? Ugh. All right. It's your boy, JACK42387. Only 17 minutes into the episode. Feeling good. Feeling good. Not sure what else there is to talk about, do. I might sit in silence for a bit while I try and collect my thoughts and find an avenue for this episode. I need I think I need a nice mic stand. I might invest in one of those because this one I want to have my head like this, but instead I have to bend down and have my head like this. What is going on in my life? I'm very surprised to see 17 likes on that reel. today could be the day that like I meet a girl that I like and we go on dates and stuff. Like you never know. You never know. You never know. When I'm with you, I don't wanna be. Let's play this game. It's called Can I Plug My Phone In to Charge It? I love this game. I win. I won the game. When I'm with you, I don't wanna be alone with you. Hey, hey, hey. I am still here. I'm just being quiet. This is undoubtedly my longest silence yet in this whole series. It's got to be. But I just don't have anything to say. And that's okay. I think it's cool if I just sit in silence, you know? I think maybe now might be a good time to be like prompted by AI. So, let's do that. Hey, what's going on? You're live on my podcast right now, wondering if you had anything to say.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Super excited to chat. What's the topic we're diving into today?
Today we are talking about literally anything. Maybe you can just prompt me. I don't want to have you on for too long. I just kind of want to get me flowing again. I was silent for quite a bit.
Awesome. How about we start with something fun like your favorite moment from your travels so far? What's a standout memory?
So, when I was how old am I now? How old was I when I went? 19 maybe? I don't 20? 18? I once had a very big motorcycle. I've owned a couple motorcycles, and a couple of them were very big, but one in particular I took to New York City and beyond. I took it past New York City to Massachusetts. And yeah, that was awesome. And you know, awesome. And it's been a while since I um saw my grandmother. I also don't call my mom as much as I should. I think I'm discovering that time might go slower when I don't talk about anything. Well, what is there to talk about, you know? It's like we're up in the morning. This is the first thing I've done in the morning. And I'm just kind of like, what am I doing? You know? What is happening? What is going on? Who am I? I desperately just want to be done with this so that I can do the next thing. But what does that get you? You know, if you always want to go to the next thing, does that make you a good person? Not a good person, but does that make for fulfillment in life? I'm not sure. I don't actually think so. I think that the way that I am right now sort of um I think when you question yourself and you speak from the heart, you're doing the right thing. And I think when you clam up and you never talk to anyone about anything that you really care about and you kind of just float by on accomplishments and alone time, you make for a pretty scary setting, you know? You kind of create this freaky landscape for yourself where it's like you don't even really exist. Let me explain something to you. I have this belief that eventually I'm going to start receiving a lot of comments, likes, and shares, and because of this, who knows? I don't know what this is going to bring, right? But I want to tell you why I believe this. I believe this because throughout me doing what I do, I'm going to continue to do it. That on its own will set me apart from very many people in the online space. There is a lot of online personality, and it is extremely crowded. Please don't get me wrong. But it's very rare that somebody is me. Matter of fact, the chance that somebody is me is zero. And what I bring to the table is a unique perspective along with a consistent appearance. Let's take the platform of Instagram, for example. I show up every day with a reel that at its very core is meant to entertain. Let's move to YouTube. Every single day, I show up with a YouTube video, which at its very core is meant to serve a community, provide for an audience, and create a space in which people can come together. Every day on YouTube, I release an episode of Keeping It Real, which is there to open myself up, to let people see inside my life, my deepest, darkest secrets, my most hidden desires, my worries, my fears, my shortcomings. And this is because I know that it's not all that serious. That these things that I'm going through, I've went through them before, and I'm sure I'm going to go through them again. And at the very least, the least I could do is share. Share with people. Let people know. So I think this mindset that I've adopted, this outlook on what I'm doing, really puts me in this unique position where I can say with an air of certainty that eventually I don't know. I'll eventually I'll have the option to make this a full-time career. What am I saying here? Ella and Sam are back. It's funny because when you talk into the camera and then people are watching, it's like this has the potential to go to the millions of people, but then there's two people that are in real life right to the left, and for some reason that throws me off. One thing's for certain, I love LeBron James. I'm envisioning my Instagram reel today. Man, I'm not saying anything. You know, like this, like, is this episode boring? I don't think that's like really the right question to ask. Am I doing the right thing by sitting here and doing nothing? I'm not sure. "17 minutes left in the recording. Let's read something. Here, we have potential talking points. The first header is, what does it mean to be you? And then below the header, it says, okay, let's answer one by one. It's funny that like, I went to the bathroom and it smells like Chick-fil-A, but I didn't have Chick-fil-A. I had McDonald's. Interesting. What does it mean to be you? How have your experiences added up to you today? Well, let's start with the top. What does it mean to be you? To be jackkadis, it means to be honest, it means to be kind, and it means to be honest, kind, and aware. How have your experiences added up to you today? Well, from elementary to middle school, I would make these really strong friends and I would bond with them a lot, and then like I would just sort of ghost them. I don't know, I'd leave them in pursuit of some other people, and then I'd do the same to them and them and them and them. And then I started smoking weed and drinking. And then I moved out of my parents' house. And now I'm me today, just trying to get a grip on life and be, without my parents' support. And yeah. Is there any one moment that weighs more than the next in the creation of your character? Interesting question. I could say yes. I could point to the very first time I got high. Or I could argue that every single moment in passing is the exact same as the previous and the future because or also at the same time you could argue that the most important moment of my life was the moments of right after my birth. And then like this moment right now is worth more than the moment in 2 minutes, which is worth more than the moment in 2 minutes. You see what I'm saying? Because I mean, this one gets a little bit broader, but the universe is expanding. Follow along with me now. So everything is slowly getting further and further away from itself, and eventually, long past our lifetimes, there will be a uniform distance between every single particle, and it will be, trust me, very, very far. Everything will be black space, unless the universe collapses back in on itself, and we will no longer exist. Earth will be ripped apart, and everybody will be dead. Along with that, when you're born, life begins, and there's this butterfly effect through everything where you never get one certain moment back. It's always on to the next moment and the next moment and the next moment, and you can never go back and change what you did yesterday. Furthermore, every day that goes by is a day lost in your life. Life is not infinite, and you are approaching your expiration date every single day. So, if you ask the 19-year-old to build a skyscraper, and then you ask the same of a 99-year-old, then, you had a crowd bet on who they thought had the best odds of completion. The money's going to go all to the 19-year-old side because he just has more time. So, is there any one moment that weighs more than the next in the creation of your character? I would say, yeah. I would say my time in high school was pretty formative of who I am. How do you get along with friends? How do you get along with family? Family, I think I am... I don't know. Sometimes I'm distant. Sometimes I'm involved. Friends, I think it's the same. This paper right here is written by a psychologist who analyzed me, and she said that, along with my parents, agreed that I have like this urge to be perfect. And that urge sort of manifests itself in this pattern in which I sometimes become hyper-focused in one thing and then drop it and go to the next. But is that really what it says? I don't think it says that. See, before reading it, I just want to say I think it's going to say like that I do one thing, go to the next, do one thing, go to the next, and I never make progress in anything, and I'm just floating around doing different things all the time. But I think what it actually says is, Mr. and Mrs. Kadis reported that it has been a long-standing pattern where Jack becomes hyper-focused in one area, then lets other aspects of his life falter. He tends to give maximum effort when he is interested in something. A recent example involved making a decision to adopt a healthy lifestyle and exercise regularly so that he could be in the best shape possible for soccer. He was very focused on this plan and did give maximum effort to it. Once the soccer season started, however, he did not play in the first 2 games. He decided to quit the team. His reason for this was that he simply was not ready and still needed to improve. This is a specific example, but this pattern has been prevalent throughout Jack's life. He sets his mind on a specific plan, and then when there's a deviation from it, even a slight one, he retreats or abandons the idea altogether. He likely operates in a chronic fight-or-flight state and then utilizes the flight mechanism more often. At the time of this evaluation, Jack was highly focused on starting a job at a car wash. He was insistent on working 7 days a week for the maximum number of hours he could. It could not be something he just did a few afternoons after school. So interesting, because I guess what I don't want to see myself as someone that's just bouncing from task to task or person to person aimlessly, right? But it doesn't say that. That's not what it says. That's just like what I read being me when I read between the lines. I think what it says is that, well, pattern is a big word. Long-standing pattern is a big word. So there's a long-standing pattern, meaning it happens over and over again, where I become hyper-focused in one area and let other aspects of my life falter. And then it gives the example of soccer. And then it says, I give up soccer. And then it sort of shows how I pick up work. And like that's the next thing that I'm hyper focused on, right? But like I'm back at work now. Like I work at Jersey Mike's, you know? And I take pride in my job. So it's like I've come back to working. Like it's not like I picked it up and threw it in the trash. I don't know. Very, very interesting. Speaking of maximum effort when I'm interested in something. So once the soccer season started, however, he did not play in the first 2 games and he decided to quit the team. His reason for this was that he simply was not ready and still needed time to improve. I haven't quit social media, but I have quit different types, like I have seen, like if you go to my YouTube page and you sort the videos from the oldest to the newest, you can see this pattern through the thumbnails. You don't even have to watch the videos. Where my videos are a certain way, thumbnail and title wise, for like a 2-week span, and then something switches and it's a little bit different in the thumbnail for 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. And while I haven't stopped the videos, like I'm still on social media consistently every day since I started. It's lasted much more than 2 weeks. I have let certain paths come and go, certain hyper-focused areas, I guess you could say. And I don't know, I think that's just by nature me, right? Like that's just what you get when it's me. But I also I think there's credit due to the fact that like I am now approaching my 1-year anniversary of doing this every single day. I've been in a similar place before. I made it 1 year without smoking weed. I still don't smoke weed, but that was a lot easier because it's really easy to not do something. you just don't do it. I found that was like a psychological hurdle. Now, I could say that, but I still eat lots of fast food, and I don't like to eat fast food. You know what I'm saying? But with the weed, it was like, okay, just don't go buy weed and have it near you, and like don't hang out with people that smoke weed, and like you'll probably be okay. And I did, and I was, and I am, right? But now I set my sights on something like, well, I'm 21, and I'm in this unique position to just do something. I'm in a unique position to make something of myself, to create, to start my story, right? And I find these video stuff, the social media thing. And I decide that with everything I've learned and all that I've been through, the smartest way to go about the beginning is to just post a 5-second clip every day with emphasis on the creation and the posting. You know, there's no fluff. No fluff. Just begin the muscle memory of posting, of putting myself out there. And this task, this everyday thing, has grown rapidly from about I'd say, 4-minute time commitment every day. Because, I mean, let's measure this in time, because how else could we measure it? From about a 4-minute time commitment every day, it's grown to what is now a almost 2-hour time commitment. About 1 hour and 45 minutes, I'd say. I can get everything done. 1 hour and 30, 1 hour and 20 if I'm going very, very fast. 1 hour 20 is pushing it. 1 hour 30. And that is just insane. I mean, can we do the math on that? Like, let's do the math on that. Because time is life, and all I have is time. So let's really treat it like what it is. Let's treat it like money. You know, like if I was a company and I was spending this much. Okay, so you have 4 minutes. 4 to 60 is, I don't know how. Let's bust the calculator. Let's make a ratio. So what percent? I don't know how to do time here. So what is, if 60 is 100, then what is 4? Because I want to know like the percent increase in time dedicated over what has not even been a year yet. 4 times 100. 400 divided by 60. Okay, so I'm looking at a 6% margin just for the hour. And we'll do an hour, so we'll do 90. 4 minutes to 90 minutes, sorry. I'm going to have to redo this ratio. So what's 400 divided by 90? 4.4%. So that means do I subtract, or do I do 100 divided by 4.4? A 22% increase? No, that's not how that works. Because 100% increase would be 8. 95%. Wait, whoa. How does this work? How do I figure out? So if I'm doing 4 minutes, 4 minutes is 4% of 1 hour and 30. So I want to know what 1 hour and 30. Ugh. So if I do, Jesus, this is weird. If I do 90, 4.4, 100, and I drop that 90 down to the bottom. Oh, sorry. 94.4, 100. And I do 100. It's going to be 9,000 divided by 4.4. Yeah, that seems right. Not going to lie to you. 2,000. 2,000. Calculator. I just want to double check this. Percentage increase calculator. And we're over time. So I'm going to end this episode. Well, starting value 4, final value 90. Calculate. Yeah, I'm right. Okay, this is insane. Something that we certainly talk about in tomorrow's episode. It's so between 2,000 45% increase in time dedicated to social media in less than a year. We'll be talking about what that means tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Adios.